everybody, I'm Yvette of DIY Uniquely Yvette. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back. This week I'm going to be doing 2 woodworking crafting projects. They're very simplistic, very silly, very quirky, very fun, and I had a lot of fun doing them. I hope they will inspire you, but let's not dilly-dally. Let's get into those silly things. We're starting out our projects making this simple, cute little quirky bird. Do I have enough adjectives? And I'm tracing him onto a 1/4 inch thick piece of plywood using a sheet of carbon paper. I'll trace his body first, and then I'll move on to tracing out his feet. Later I'll trace out his wings and beak and his eyes. Then we'll move over to the scroll saw. Here are all the shapes that I have for our bird. Here's his nose or beak. Here are his 2 eyes, the feet, and these are his wings behind his body. I just cut sort of like I did the curve according to how the drawing was, and then I sort of just made it into a type of D. And it'll go behind his body like that. Now what I'm going to do for the main piece right here is cover it with this piece of material. I don't know how it's going to look, if it's going to look nice or it's going to look weird. I love this this lime with the yellow and white stripes like a lemon. It's very fresh and summer-like, and I think it'll be cute to cover him all over right here with this material. And I just got this one swatch of material from Walmart. So what I'm going to do is cut out a piece that is a little too big and then start trying to tuck it in between his feathers on his head. I realized this project would work better if I had paper I was covering this with, but I don't have any paper to cover it with. I just have this material. I'm going to cover probably the surface of the bird with this Mod Podge, and then stick the material to it, and then once it's dry I'll try to cut around the edges to get the excess off. So I'm going to use a paintbrush to paint it on here. And then if you use a paintbrush with your glue, you want to rinse it out immediately so the glue doesn't dry in there and ruin your paintbrush. And I don't guarantee getting this straight. Oh, that's good. I'm going to try to cut off some of this excess material with my rotary cutting tool. Alright y'all, I was wrong. I said that I couldn't cut the edges of this material with sandpaper the same way I've seen people do with paper when it's covered with paper and they go at the edges with sandpaper. I said I couldn't do it with this material, and I was wrong. This 120 grit sandpaper, actually rubbing it like this, I mean this is as hard as I was really doing it, and it cut the material. I couldn't believe it. For the feathers on his head, I used a cutter to cut between like this to break the covering. Like if it was sheet like this, I broke in between there and then went in with the sandpaper like this and just ran it down, and then leaned it on this side and ran it down. Just did it over and over until it was much neater. But it wasn't hard. I couldn't believe it. I just thought it wouldn't work. I just assumed. I guess that's what I get for assuming. So that's cool. Now what I'm going to do is cover up these wings with pieces like this. It really doesn't need the whole thing covered because only this rounded edge is going to be showing. But to keep it all even, I guess I'm going to do it like that. Okay, now that we have the body and the wings covered with the material, let's set those aside and work on the feet and the beak. it's time to do the eyes. Okay, now it's time to put the face on, put the wings on. So I'm hoping that I can get it right. Like that. Let's see, let's see, I want it really tight in there. About like that. Let's see, like here. Now for the legs, I've got these 7.5-inch long dowels. I don't know how thick they are. So I'm going to use this drill to drill a hole in the back center of each foot. So I'm just going to make just a little indentation. I'm going to glue these legs in here. I piled up a few pieces of wood so that when I lay this foot attached to the dowel on the back of the piece, it can hang off without touching the table. And there he is, my finished little guy, and he is cute, simple, fun, and adorable. He looks like a jug of limeade. Oh, but he's cute. Okay, here's our next little simple project. We're making this little kitty. So I've used carbon paper to trace it on this wood. This wood is like 3/4 of an inch thick. So let's move over to the scroll saw and cut this little guy out. I'm using this piece of scrap wood to make the feet and probably the nose and whatever else I'm going to put on a different level. It's thinner. I decided the nose and the heart needed to be thinner than the feet and the body. So it's really thin actually. You can see that. Hopefully you can. And I also decided it would look weird if I had the eyes separated from the nose and both being, you know, another level. So I just left it like that. I'll just paint on the eyes and the nose will only stick out in the heart and the feet. Now we'll move on to sanding everything and getting to the assembly and painting process. Now that we have everything sanded, we're going to move on to painting the cat. And I'm going to paint his body with this chestnut color from Apple Barrel. As you can see, I painted the sides of the cat. I also painted the sides of his paws, but the front of his paws I'm going to paint with this antique parchment color. Let's paint part of the ears. I'm going to attempt something that I'm not sure about. First, let me go ahead and attach this heart where I want it. And I'm not sure about doing some detail work on his belly, but that's what I want to do, and I need the heart in place before I do it. And the feet are going to be something like this. So I want to do a little bit of light flower drawing on here. Wish me luck, because I don't really do this type of thing. And I'm not sure how well this watercolor black pencil will do, but I'm going to give it a try. Whatever reason, that looks like a balloon and goofy, because I feel like it's not straight to me, and it's harder to figure out what the heck I'm doing. Whatever, let's leave it. Let's leave well enough alone. So that's how it'll be. Those feet hopefully will cover up most of those balloon leaves. That looks not bad. Not great, but not bad. So this is what it'll look like when I put the feet on him. When I was doing his stomach, I'm sorry I covered everything up. I forgot that I'm left-handed and I have to see it. I have to have my hand on this side. I should have had the camera on the right side. So we'll try that again and hope that I'll be able to draw okay on this tail. There, that's kind of cute. Okay, let's try to put together his face a little bit. We're going to start with the nose just to give the rest of the face a little perspective. And I'm just going to guess where it should go. Let's put it about here. I don't know how I'm going to do this upside down. For some reason, doing these eyes is super duper challenging. I can't seem to get it right. I've painted over it twice, and I still don't like what's here. So I'm just going to have to let it go. And hope that despite his eyes, our little cat will be still cute. Because I really don't like the way they look. I can't seem to capture the beauty of the original drawing. So we'll do some eyebrows. We'll do a little line under his nose. Just simple. I'm going to try giving him a little emphasis on his nose. I'm not sure if it'll work with this pencil. Not really. Antique parchment paint. have some strip of straw here that I've kind of looped several times, and on the sides that are looped, I'm going to leave them looped, and I'm going to glue it to the side of his nose, I think. And then on the other side, I'll cut the loops. I feel like that's a bit too many. So let's take one off. Let's trim it like that. So we'll glue it on the side of his nose. I feel like the whiskers are a little too long, so I'm going to trim them. Next, we're going to put some string around his neck. So I have this twine. Just gonna tie a simple bow. Trying to get this string to hang down right. I think he's a little precarious. Maybe a little something in the back to give him a little bit more balance. I put this little piece here so they could brace him. And I just went ahead and painted it. It's not dry. But that's him. I hope you like him. I think he's pretty cute. You enjoyed the woodworking crafting project we did this week. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in a comment below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.